Hi, and welcome to another episode of Into the Nerdiverse. We just had a technical difficulty right there. Um, the program that I use sometimes when I open it up does not um, have my mic on there. So I was talking to nothing. So now it's working, and this is an episode. It's July 15th here in the US. It's July 16th for those of my British viewers and listeners or whatnot. So typically with Nerdiverse, I have a set list of things to talk about, but today, this one's going to be special where we just talk about what you guys want to talk about. I have a guest today, and we'll also talk about things that we are watching, things we're interested in, and just have a fun little nerd discussion. So, today, my guest, all the way from the UK, is Mr. Ty Tiger. He's right there. I was gonna say, yeah.
Hey,
So, and they should be hearing you, so that should be fine. We're not gonna have any technical difficulties. Rachel said that it's always me. Yeah, I'm the technical difficulty guru. So, if there's gonna be technical difficulties, it's gonna be it. It's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the one involved in the center of it. Like I told you while earlier, um, that my last episode movie talk with Cosplay Dude 637, we had to record it 3 times because of audio issues. The first time we recorded was the exact same reason as was just happened now. We were talking for 45 minutes and it never recorded me. So, um, but we're good now. We're good now. I only have to edit maybe 6 minutes out of this episode. But how are you doing, Ty?
yeah, I'm good.
Good.
So,
Um,
one
yes.
quick question about your technical difficulties. If you were like a mutant in the Marvel universe or like a meta-human in the DC universe, would your abilities just be like you touch technology and just destroy
Ooh.
it completely? Would that be your superpower, just to absolutely wreck any form of technology?
No, I think I would be like the I forgot his name, like Dominic Manahan or whatever his name is from the Wolverine movie, where he can like mess with electricity.
All right, yeah.
I think I might be something like that. Um, yeah,
Fair.
I would screw something up. Like that would be my
Yep.
and but the thing is, like my power would be so random that it would always be an accident. So like I could, it's like the doctor trying to control the TARDIS and it just going wherever he wants to, wherever
Yeah.
it wants to go. That's how I'd be with my powers. So when I want to use it, it doesn't happen.
Fair.
But yeah, so a lot of series of unfortunate events would be a result of it. But Um, so we don't have a set list of stuff to talk about. For this episode, I decided to just kind of make it an open discussion. Um, I have you here, and I have the people on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. Um, and so if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, go ahead and comment. What's going on? I did get some suggestions in the Discord server. Because I know Jim wants me to watch the Orville. I have not seen it yet, so I do plan on eventually watching it and hopefully
Isn't
talking.
that like a a joke version of like Star Trek or something?
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane.
Yep.
Um, this show.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
friend wants me to watch it. Apparently, it's funny.
yeah. It's like in its third season, I think.
I may
I
have to
want to
give
say.
that a go.
Yeah. So before we did this, me and Ty we were recording a movie talk. So coming up this, I want to say Tuesday. Um, there'll be another movie talk. So last week or this week, it's still this week. I did a movie talk
Yeah, we're
with
still this week.
yes, I don't know what time it is, day it is half the time. So I did one with Cosplay Dude 637. We talked about the Last Starfighter, and so the next one, Ty and I, we talked about Lord of the Rings. So Look forward to that. And the video version of the one with Cosplay Dude 637 should be posting on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. I have it set. I don't remember what day I have it set to post, but it will post on Wednesday. So Zio to Hero says the Orville is a hands down better version of new Star Trek. I haven't seen the new Star Trek. Like, I have Paramount Plus, but I haven't seen it. Have you watched any of the new Star Trek?
No, I have not. Like,
okay.
I did. I was kind of in the room when my brother started watching Discovery. It seemed okay, but I haven't really paid that much attention to anything Star Trek wise in the last couple of years.
I like Star Wars a lot better than Star Trek.
Yeah,
I do find, sorry for the people that love Star Trek. I want to apologize, so don't cancel me. I find Star Trek to be a little bit more boring. Like, I watched some of the Next Generation Voyager when it was on, and it was.
I've watched more Voyager than anything else. I think Voyager's the one I watched more.
It's just a bunch of people just talking in a hallway. So like that's just what it felt like.
Brilliant. That's how I'm going to explain Star Trek from now on. Yeah. It's a bunch of space people talking in the hallway.
I do have friends that really love Star Trek more, so I hope I don't offend them.
Star Wars, I think.
Yeah. I've always loved Star Wars since I seen Return of the Jedi back in I saw it when I was 8 in 94. Long time ago. I'm old. Again, I'm old. So
yeah, I'm one of the youngest people in the Zero to Hero community. I would notice that the other day. I'm actually one of the youngest ones.
Yeah, I think you might be the youngest. I might be the shortest. So
fair enough.
So we had that discussion today on the Discords. Everybody was like 5'11" or taller. I'm like, what in the world? Like, I'm 5'6", and I already know I'm short, but it's
see, you say short. I'm the tallest person in my family. My mum's 5'5", my dad's 5'6". I think my grandmother was like 4'9" or something. I'm the tallest person in my family. So you say you're short. I'm surrounded by short people all the time.
Are you sure you're not the milkman's baby?
Possibly.
So yeah, Zio to Hero says Star Trek New Worlds is pretty good, to be fair. Oh, I didn't know there was another one. He also said Discovery took way too long to get good. So I think they're like in their second or third season. I didn't see Picard. Well, I didn't see any of them, so I know Picard came out, I think, before Discovery. And then Rachel is like, I'm old, but she is older. She's 41. That is old, very old. I'll be 36 next month though. I've got a few more weeks.
I'm 24 next month.
So you're 23 now. I thought you were 24 now. Okay.
I turned 20. I turned 24 in just over 2 weeks. Yeah, just beginning of August.
When at the beginning of August? If you don't mind saying it to everybody. Okay. Mine's the
5th. Oh, nice. There you go.
So we're a day and 12 years difference. Or 12 years shot. Yeah. 12 years and a day. Zio to Hero said Picard ended terribly, but the first season was pretty good. But you do get Picard for a whole season. Yeah, old.
Fair enough.
Picard. But anywho, that's Star Trek 2. I don't know much about Star Trek. But you guys can talk. We can respond.
I was always a Star Wars fan.
Yeah. So apparently there's going to be, I think there probably may have already started out in the Power Rangers comics, a Death Ranger.
Yes, I've seen.
He's going to be big in the new Unlimited series, the Power Rangers Unlimited, which it takes as like in space, Zane and Andros. I got the first issue. It's actually pretty good. And Death Ranger apparently is he was one of the original Omega Rangers that turned bad. I'm sure Zio to Hero would have more knowledge on the whole Death Ranger thing. But there's a whole lot of Power Ranger comic books going on now.
Oh
Because
yeah.
you had the original run of Mighty Morphin, but then you had Go-Go Power Rangers. Uh, oh no, not a Death Ranger. That's what Zio here said. Go-Go Power Rangers, and you had a lot of side stories from those, and then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers split into Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. Um, he says it's going to follow after Omega Rangers, so it might be fun. It might. The first issue of Unlimited was really just how Andros and I don't know if anybody's read it or not. Andros and Zane became Power Rangers. Like like it takes place
It's like
before
a
In
prequel,
Space.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that because when you get to In Space, you see Andros just by himself, and I don't
Yeah.
know if they really explain um, why he's the only Power Ranger and Space Ranger. Um, they may have explained it, but this does explain it in the Unlimited series. You have 2 runs right now: Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin. Yeah. I collect Mighty Morphin. I haven't collected Power Rangers because Power Rangers goes more into the Omega Rangers side, where Mighty Morphin goes to the main team. So
Mm.
I've been collecting the Mighty Morphin because I'm way behind to start collecting the Power Rangers.
I do like the fact that they're building upon the storylines that kind of just end. Like obviously each season's a different storyline, so like you don't have to read the comic books if you don't want to, but if you want to find out more about Andros and Zane, for example, here have a whole comic book storyline.
Yeah, because the comic books have mostly, they've delved into some of the other Rangers with the power of the grid, or uh the one before that with what's his face, crap, yeah, Dracon. But it mostly centers around the Mighty Morphin team, and then now with
Yeah.
Mighty Morphin, it centers around the Mighty Morphin team. Like that's the main focus because that's what sells more with Power Rangers is Mighty Morphin. Me being an old traditional person, I care more about Mighty Morphin than the other teams, but I understand that people want more than just Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
But the Unlimited does kind of go away from that, so now we're into In Space. CLG Hero says, well, if you're dealing with the comics, you're also dealing with the split history, which is, I guess, kind of true because the comics aren't technically kind of like a canon to the show. Um, so it is kind of its own universe thing, but they kind of, there's, yeah, he said you get to about season 2 and then the history splits. Oh, so the unlimited runs, those are basically one-offs. Okay. I didn't know exactly how that worked because that said unlimited number 1, but the title of it was something. But I guess last year we had an unlimited one. But it
So
was,
is it gonna be like the Marvel's What If, where like each one's gonna be a different storyline?
I don't know because this, like
I mean,
this
that'd be kind of
issue,
cool though.
yeah, this issue looks like it should go further than it is. So being a one-off, I'm hoping that it expands upon what just happened in this last issue. He said basically when Rocky and Adam shows up. But anywho, I'm the ones that I like. I'm collecting the Mighty Morphins and stuff, but I'm not reading them like I should because I have a lot to catch up on. Um, but I am reading the Mighty Morphin. Last year we had unlimited one with the Phantom Ranger. Okay, so I need to look into that. I didn't know there was other unlimiteds besides just this one. Really, we could have more, and this year's unlimited series can do more, but I personally doubt it. I don't know. I felt like that issue was not was. Oh, I guess it does. Like you could see where that ends, and then the beginning of the In Space show starts, sort of. But I feel like there's something in between that's missing.
I like the fact they're paying attention to other stuff though,
Yeah.
especially the ones that like have questions like, like you said, in space. How is Andros like the only ranger around then? Phantom Ranger, everyone's been questioning that since he became a thing. So like I'm glad they're kind of answering questions in a way just by making it into a comic book. It's lazy, but at least it's a way of explaining stuff.
That's true. That's true. Rachel has a question for you. She asked that how is your Power Ranger story going?
Yeah, it's going good. I'm on the end of chapter 5. Chapter 4 is already written and recorded. I've just got to edit it and upload it next week. And episode 5, I've almost finished. It's going to be the longest episode so far. And then I think I might start another story at some point, which is also Power Rangers related. But yeah, it's going really good.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying building my Power Ranger world.
So how do you come up with these stories? Like, do you just like write one story and then it comes out and then you try to expand on it, or do you already have like a set of like you already know how the story is going to go and you're just kind of building the little pieces of the big world?
The story that's currently coming out, which is called Power Rangers Future Foundation, I already know what's happening with that. I don't exactly. I'm still building on it, like the long run. I'm building on it, but I kind of know where I'm going before I write it and before it's released to everyone else. Like I said, I'm already near the end of chapter 5, and I think I know how chapter 6 is gonna go. But with the other Power Ranger story that I want to do, I just have a idea. Like I have one character, and that's literally all I have at the minute, and I have no idea what's going to happen yet.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing where that goes because yeah, you have 3 that's out right now. You got
Yep.
Fourth one you said is going to come out this week.
Yep.
Zio says this year's #1 ends with Zane getting in spoiler territory injured, and then it starts up with these Power Rangers, where the Power Rangers picked up. I guess like I yeah, I could see that, but I still kind of feel like there's got to be something another in between. But I guess it does make sense if you connect it to the show with Zane and Andros. It does go more into who these characters are. It's a thicker book than normal comic books. There is no spoilers. Yes, there is. Yes, there is sometimes. But if you think about it, like if people watch in space, you know that Andros is the only Power Ranger, and then somehow Zane is injured, and he is in his little thing. So this kind of goes into it. Cosplay Dude 637 says, "Sup, my dudes."
So I guess that's the issue of prequels, isn't it? Is that you've got a storyline or a plot point that you've got to reach, and you have to make sure it gets there without screwing it over.
Which is really hard because most do. There's always something because they always use some poetic license to say, "I like this way to do it better," even though it kind of messes it up. But it irks me because continuity
Star Wars.
Yes.
Star Wars.
Yes. Like, I like the prequels, but there are a lot of continuity issues.
Especially with the sequels.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the sequels. There's not really technically continuity issues with the sequels. It's more of it made to me with especially the Force Awakens. Everybody who knows me knows I hate the Force Awakens.
It was the second one that I didn't like.
Oh, Force Awakens to me mostly because it's a saga. It was supposed to be a 9-part saga. You go 1, 2, 3, and so George Lucas did do a good job, in my opinion, on episode 3, where the end of episode 3, you saw R2D2 and C3PO in the ship that you see them in at the beginning of the next one. You see Tatooine with the twin suns. They do a lot to visually connect you to the next one. Yes. And then in A New Hope, even though, yes, it was the first one that's made, but in A New Hope, the first characters you see are R2D2 and C3PO. Yeah. There's a bridge there. That's why, because he didn't have to have R2D2 or C3PO in the prequels at all. They were not necessary, but they were
No.
necessary to connect the story to
Yes.
create a bridge. Force Awakens, there was zero bridge. The first character you see is BB-8. You don't know what's going on. Everything that they did in the original trilogy was for nothing. It's 30 years later, and you're right back where you are with New Hope. So from the get-go, I was annoyed, and so I couldn't enjoy it. So, oh man, I'm missing some comments. Okay, so Zio says Psycho Pass was considered an unlimited comic. Prequel, you know how it's going to end. That's true. The prequels. Cosplay Dude says Nega Ranger are overpowered. Or the Nega Ranger are overpowered. Or you mean Omega Ranger? That kind of sounds like it's not a good word. Sorry, I should not have said that one out loud. Omega Rangers probably is what I'm thinking. Zio says Dave Filoni had to write circles to keep Annie from meeting General Grievous. Yeah, I remember all that because they recreated General Grievous. So I don't know. Annie from meeting General Grievous. Oh, in the okay, blah blah blah. So in the Clone Wars, Clone Wars, General Grievous was in there, but yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan didn't need to meet General Grievous because then it wouldn't make sense whenever Anakin goes, "You're shorter than I expected." Oh, okay. They're from the Ultra Rangers story. Okay, my bad, because Anakin doesn't meet General Grievous till the third movie. That's true. That's true. Anywho, what have you? Because of one stupid, yeah, you're shorter than than I expected. Is basically that line. So, what kind of things have you been watching? Getting into lately?
I'm doing my best to catch up on Power Rangers Dino Fury. Because obviously season 2 will be kind of like wrapping up, and I'm almost near the end of season 1. It's taken me a while to catch up. I've met the Sixth Ranger; he's now in it. And I think the last episode I watched was the episode where the Gold Ranger's kind of like loving all the fame and attention, and it kind of gets the Rangers in trouble because he's loving all the fame and attention. So I'm trying to catch up because obviously there's talk about the new season. Apparently it'll be on Netflix, and it's going to be like a 30th anniversary thing, and like everyone's kind of like talking hype about it, and I kind of want to catch up, so I'm with everybody on the same boat with everyone. And I'm enjoying it actually. It's actually pretty good. I'm kind of confused on the Sixth Ranger, like the character himself when he's morphed. Obviously, I know they use Super Sentai footage, but it doesn't fit with the Gold Ranger. His voice doesn't like fit the character. To me, I just don't. I'm still kind of finding it strange, but I'm liking the storyline. I like what they're doing with the Super Sentai footage. Other than Power Rangers Dino Fury, I've been slowly getting through Obi-Wan Kenobi, extremely slow. Just finished episode 2. It was really good. I'm so slow on that one. I don't know why. I think it's because a lot of people I talk to have kind of like said it's not as good as it should be. So I'm like now just slowly getting through it, hoping that they're not correct and I will enjoy it. I need to catch up on the boys. We had that discussion earlier, didn't we? I need to catch up on the boys. Yeah, I need to definitely catch up on that one. I actually really love the boys. Me and my ex-partner watched the boys first just before the second season came out. We binge watched the first one. I think in like 3 days you watched the entire I know it's only 13 episodes, but we went through that like mad, and we absolutely enjoyed it. It's such a good take on superheroes, air quote superheroes, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the third one because they bring in I can never remember his name, but he's in Supernatural.
Yeah,
He plays
Jensen
Dean.
Ackles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking forward to seeing what he does with the character. So, Boys is on my. I think that's the next thing I'm going to binge watch.
Yeah, The Boys, because Cosplay Dude says he's never seen The Boys. It's might be a good thing for some, because it's not a family show. Like, it's not a family show.
No,
It's not even like, I don't think it's a show that anybody actually should be watching. Because there's just a lot of messed up stuff where you're like, whoever wrote some of those episodes probably like should be like admitted into some sort of sexual harassment something.
Especially the very last Homelander scene of season 2.
Well, just wait till the first episode of season 3. It gets worse. It gets worse.
Well, see, I guess it like obviously it's over dramatic because it's a superhero TV show, but it's kind of like the most realistic superhero TV show if you really think about it.
Yeah,
and that makes no sense. But
it probably would be more of what like superheroes would be now, like in real life.
Yeah,
because they are real people.
Yep.
It's not HBO. It's sorry, Cosplay Dude says HBO. It's Amazon, but like it's worse than HBO. Like HBO shows don't do stuff that The Boys do.
Oh no. Yeah. Think of things like Rick and Morty, but if it was a superhero TV show. Yeah. Like how effed up Rick and Morty can be, but in a live action superhero TV show.
Yeah.
Maybe worse in some cases.
Yeah, Zio says, well, The Boys is a dark commentary on the current world events with the twist of superhumans. Like, consider Vought to be like Amazon itself has control of everything.
Yeah, that's actually a very good description.
Yeah. Well, and it is. I think the comic books were too.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I got the first issue of the Dear Becky, but I haven't read it yet. I guess that was like a after the series, it was like another little small run. But yeah, watch Miss Marvel too. It's good. I do feel like the last episode is anticlimactic, which it seems like a lot of these Disney Plus, Marvel and Star Wars. Like sometimes they build up something and it just kind of like meh.
Flattens, yeah.
Yeah. But there is something interesting that happens at the end. There's two things that are interesting. One is like the really end scene, where when we mentioned something about her being Inhuman.
Yep.
Whenever we talked offline, well, technically online, but on something else. But then there's a post-credit scene that is interesting, and it's because this is going to segue into the Marvels movie. So you're going to have Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Monica Rambeau. And so there's, at the end, you're like, wait, how did that happen? What's happening? What's going on? And yeah. But I think you will like the end little, I think it's a teaser to something bigger. But I can't give it away because it would be a spoiler, even though Ziyoda Hero said no, there are no spoilers. But I think that was with that Unlimited comic book. But this is I can't give away spoilers because it's a sound bite. Well, not really a sound bite because it's not a person, it's music. They play some music of something that's going to get you really hyped up for something in the future.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
I'm intrigued now.
Yes, yeah. It's you need to watch it. There's only 6 episodes. Yeah. So
sure.
Zio says Miss Marvel's powers don't match up to the comics, but it's still a really good family story. Again, this is where we talked. We didn't talk here. I think we talked on our movie talk, where a lot of times with adaptations, liberties are taken for some things, and when it comes to comic books, it's a different universe, and this universe powers could be different. But I don't know the comic book very much, so I can't really.
Well, okay, so the thing is, when it comes to Miss Marvel, a lot of people are saying it's because the people behind Marvel, well, Disney Plus, then whatever, don't want Mr. Fantastic and Miss Marvel on like the same, because they both have very similar abilities. Which I have a counter argument of Iron Man, War Machine, Wong, Doctor Strange. You know, there's duos of the same ability. That's nothing new. So it's more of a case of they don't want to do the Inhuman storyline just yet. They don't want to play on that. Obviously, the TV show didn't exactly do very well, etc., etc. And they're kind of building up the Young Avengers, because obviously you've got Kate Bishop, now Miss Marvel. We've got Ironheart coming out. She-Hulk. We've got Captain America as the Falcon, because he's the leader of the Young Avengers. They were kind of building up the Young Avengers, and Miss Marvel is a big part of that. So
Yeah.
It's kind of like having the Avengers without Captain America or Thor.
Yeah, well, that's something that they were like. This is one of my gripes with the MCU is after Age of Ultron, they basically build up a new team. This is our new Avengers.
Yep.
And then Infinity War, which I love, to me, it's the best MCU movie.
Yep.
They reverted back to the old Avengers. So, like,
Uh-huh.
why, like, build up to this new team of Avengers to help it grow to just go back to where you started? And then they did it again. But now it's for good. Like, there's no way to go around it like they could have before. They did before, but so Zeo to Hero, Let's see. Just like how they started with Thor saying there isn't magic, but there is now magic-ish in the MCU. And he loves I can assume you say grandma, not grandpa, and Miss Marvel. Yeah, her grandma's pretty cool.
When it comes to Thor, Thor does say that his stuff isn't magic. As in like Mjolnir is not magic. All of Asgardian, like Hela's stuff isn't magic. Which, if you watch What If, you actually learn that even Hela's is very, very minute, but even Hela's stuff isn't magic. Like, none of the Asgardians are magic. It's all tech. Technically, in a sense, it's all technology, which kind of goes against the whole if you're worthy to pick up this hammer, you shall gain the powers of Thor malarkey. But apparently it's not magic. But in a way, everything is technically science, but yeah, it all depends on how you go around it. It's really awkward.
Yeah. But there's like everything. There's magic. There's, just normal powers. There's mutants that have powers. Celestials that have powers. Inhumans that have powers. Science that creates powers. So, Bazio. Billy says he needs a hug. Well, I'm sorry, Billy, you're out of luck. There was an Inhuman in Doctor Strange 2. Cosplay Dude 637 said, was there an Inhuman in?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there was, because there was the guy who, if he speaks, he kills whatever is in front of him. Okay.
His voice is extremely powerful. That's why he can't talk.
He's got a pitchfork on his head.
Yeah, he uses that to like telepathically talk to people.
Zio says there is a grandpa in Miss Marvel, but he said or dad. Yeah, her dad is awesome. I didn't think her grandpa was there. But he's pretty sure that the grandpa went. The one that dressed up in the Hulk. Yeah, that's her dad, not her grandpa. Why is you calling her grandpa her dad? That'd be weird. That's some Jerry Springer stuff right there. Unless there was, and I just wasn't paying attention. Black Bolt.
Black Bolt. Yeah, he's he's actually like really decent in the comic books. I know the Inhuman TV show wasn't the best. I only watched like the first 2 episodes. I didn't like. They got rid of like Medusa within seconds. I don't understand. But the one scene that I respect them for doing, it's in the first episode. He gets tasered on Earth and he grunts, and then all the windows shatter around him because he grunts in pain, because literally the minute sound out of him can blow a building if he's not careful. So like I did respect them for that one specific scene, and yeah, he literally, his voice is that strong, which makes no sense on why the way that what happens in Doctor Strange, but yeah.
It was a different universe, so
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. It's a different universe.
See, that's literally going to be the argument for everything that happens in the MCU now.
That's how they can bring. Oh, I'm from a different universe. Cosplay dude says I must sleep now. I know it's getting late, so good night, cosplay dude.
It's late. You think it's late. You think it's late. I can see the sunrise.
Oh yeah. It's what, 3 o'clock in the morning for you?
No,
4 o'clock.
It's past 4.
4 o'clock in the morning. Holy moly! Yeah, you've been up for a while. So we're gonna try not to get too late. We've already been going for 40 minutes, so we're gonna try to short it. Oh, so on the Discord, let's see. There was a mention. I think it was Abysmal. Abysmal Crown 39 mentioned that they did start a new Resident Evil series that premiered this week. Is it on Netflix?
I believe so.
I really want to watch it. I don't have Netflix, so I'm interested. I don't play the games because I'm a scaredy cat with when it comes to those kind of games. But I enjoyed the movies to a point. The last one of the Mila Jovovich movies. The last one was not very good. They what is that called? Where they changed stuff. What happened because they want to do something else. I just forgot what that was called. But anywho, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Resident Evil.
So they retcon stuff in the last one. Yeah.
With Resident Evil, I kind of never really played the game. I've played some of one of the remakes, I think, because I just thought it looked actually decent. I thought I'd give it a go. But yeah, the type of games they've made them into, it stressed me out, so I don't play them.
Yeah, I get scared if jump scares easily in video games.
And when it comes to movies, I think I've watched the first one, and that's about it. I did watch the animated anime they did of it. That was pretty dark. But I might give the new Netflix one a go.
I saw the new movie that came out last year. I liked it. A lot of people that really love the video games didn't like it because they strayed too far in some. It's more like the video games than the other movies were, because those were kind of like their own thing. They had like characters in and out from the video games, but it wasn't really connected at all to the video games. But this one, it did. It was basically the first 2 games in one movie. And I enjoyed it.
That's another adaptation thing that people get really funny about, is from video games to movies.
Yeah.
Because I think the Sonic. I haven't seen Sonic 2 yet, but I think the first Sonic. I think the first Sonic did really well. They have done really bad stuff. Obviously, Mario's had a really bad movie. Doom had a movie. Strangely enough, that was rather bizarre. Yeah. Monster Hunter had a movie. I haven't seen that one yet.
Also been Jovovich.
Yeah. The Mortal Kombat movie that came out, was it 2019?
2020.
2020. I actually enjoyed that. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was actually pretty.
I was opposite. I did not enjoy that movie.
The only thing I didn't like is I thought it was really stupid how they have all of them have superpowers based on if they have the Mortal Kombat mark, which I thought that was stupid. But I did like the graphics and the CGI, and the last fight scene was okay.
I felt like they killed too many characters off. They didn't build enough of things. They just kind of threw it all together.
Teased the second one. They've even teased the second one. I'm just like, how's that gonna work now? You've wiped half the roster.
Yeah, it was like all the cool ones are gone. Like it just like that's what I didn't like about it. Like they could have took a lot less out of it and put more lore and story into it, but they didn't.
But yeah, when it comes to video games adapting, it's very touchy subject.
Yeah. Well,
Depends on the stuff.
So the movies are only a showcase for what are faced to be hot. I think let's talk about Mila Jovovich. She's cute, but I don't know. She married the guy who directed the Resident Evil movies. He's married to Mila Jovovich. He also directed the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh.
But he also asked if I got scared playing Pokemon. I don't get those. Aren't jump scares. I do get ticked off if my Pokemon are about to die and I have to go through the grass and I have no way of like winning a battle. Like that's why I stopped playing some of those
JRPGs.
Yeah, like forgot which one. I was playing one and I got tired of like I was almost dying, but like you got into a battle every 3 seconds you were walking. But he says Doom had Carl Urban and The Rock, so basically Billy Butcher and Black Adam. Because Carl Urban, Billy Butcher and Black Adam, or Dredd and Black Adam.
I like Dredd.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Judge Dredd's good.
Well, what if I don't? He says, you can use cut on the grass to avoid a random encounter, but what if I don't have a Pokemon that has cut? You have to have the Pokemon that has the ability. You can't just do it. You can't just do it. But forgot where we were going from there. Billy said Dredd was based on my life.
If Dredd is based off your life, that's a bit dark.
But it is. That is. Chasing after druggies. That's your life.
With a really cool gun, because I must admit I do like Judge's pistol.
The Zio de Hero says the falling part. What's the falling part?
Is he talking about
Billy's from Dredd? Life? Yeah, Billy's Dredd. Yeah, because Dredd would all fall the falling part. That was his life. Ooh. So, let's see. Is there anything else coming out? I do want to check out that Resident Evil show. I need to check out Orville. I feel like some things might be slowing down.
Yeah, we're kind of getting into summer now, though. They do kind of like, TV shows either end or they're about to start, if that makes sense. Like, we're kind of in that lull now, aren't we? Where,
we do have San Diego Comic-Con coming up this week.
True.
So I think we're going to start getting to the news realm of movies and nerd stuff. Even though the only panel that I know of Power Rangers that's going to be a San Diego Comic-Con is I think Boom. No, there might be two. I think Boom might have a booth for the Power Ranger comics, and I think there might be some other things. But as far as I know, Hasbro doesn't have anything planned for San Diego Comic-Con, which kind of stinks. But I don't know. Things could change. Yeah, Zio De Hero said, well, we're hitting the mid-season hiatuses. Yeah, so this is the part where like shows just kind of like take a pause. We will be getting Andor show next month on Disney Plus. So he was one of the main characters on Rogue One.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that because I liked his character in that because he's like a rebel, but like the dark side, not the dark side of rebel. Like, because one thing I liked about the Rogue One is it really kind of shows that the rebellion, not everybody was like about peace, and really not. We're like, well, goody. Like,
yeah, they were
there's
like
there's a dark side.
Luke.
Yeah, well, Han Solo was kind of the Han Solo that shot first kind but he wasn't a really rebel. He just kind of did his own thing. Which I guess that is a rebel, but he's not. He was part of the rebellion. But like to show like a grittier side of the rebellion where like there's not always good people, all because they're on the side of what is determined to be good. Again, because the Empire was not good. So, but doesn't mean that everybody that was part of the rebellion is good. So his character grew throughout that movie, but he really wasn't a good person before the beginning of the movie.
I quite enjoyed Rogue One, actually.
Yeah. Oh, it's my favorite Disney Star Wars movie, and it's not even close.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I haven't seen Solo. I haven't actually.
Solo is pretty good.
Yeah, people have told me it's good. I'm about to finish the first season of Mandalorian. I've watched.
You're way behind on all that stuff.
Yeah, like it's awkward. Like, because when it comes to watching TV shows and stuff, I'm still currently living with my parents, and they're kind of like my mum's getting my stepmom to watch stuff. My stepmom's getting my mum to watch stuff. So like they're watching Walking Dead, but they're only my mum's like season 9 now, but my stepmom's only like season 3, I think, or something. So like my mum's not
caught up. I'm like 4 seasons behind on Walking Dead.
Well, my stepmom is a big old scaredy pants to the point where like, if in Walking Dead, for example, someone dies because they got bit and you can see like the flesh being torn and stuff, she'll cower away from that. And like, we're trying to get her to watch Stranger Things, because obviously the new season's come out, and we're all kind of waiting for my stepmother to catch up. Yeah, she hides whenever like the daunting music starts playing and stuff like that. Yeah,
well, but it's supposed to be like that. You know, it's gonna happen. Well, but again, that's the same thing with like playing the Resident Evils. You know it's gonna happen, but I don't play it because of that though. So, there's some horror, like scary movies, suspenseful movies that I do watch, but it's anything that doesn't have to do with like possession. Those are the ones that I'm like, no, I'm not doing those. But I can do like slashers and all that kind of stuff. But so Zio says Saw Gerrera was not a good person. Nope, he was not a good person at all. And he said Walking Dead was such a disappointment. Yeah, I need to get caught up on Walking Dead, so I don't know how that. It was starting to get disappointing after season 3, because season 4 was just, in my opinion, like really lame, and then 5 started bringing it back around, and then they kept like playing this whole there was going to be a big deal with them fighting Negan, and then the next season you went back to, I don't know, it was like
the suspense of Negan was so good, because that's when I started watching it. It ended? I don't know what season Negan officially. I think it's season 7, is it, when Negan officially comes into it?
Might have been at the end of season 5, 6. Yeah, like he was on the last episode of one season.
Yeah. Well, so, that episode, that last episode season, when he goes eeny meeny miny mo, that's where it was. That episode aired. I was catching up with it. That's when I first started watching it, because I was watching it with my friend's house, and I was like, okay, this is kind of good. And it was actually the first episode, the scene where Rick's, walking around and he's kind of realizing something's happened. And I was like, okay, this is good. I got to watch this. So I was playing catch up, and then I got to that episode, and Negan's going eeny meeny miny mo. He swings the bat, it ends, and I'm like, I've still got like 3 weeks until the new season comes out. This is really good. So I wrote everyone into it over time. Like my entire family's like kind of caught up. And then Negan was like, the first episode of that season was like, oh my god, Negan's the big bad. Like, it just proves that in the world of zombies, humans are actually more dangerous than zombies are. I think that's the whole point of it. And then it just kind of went downhill.
Well, they kept trying
to kind of dragged.
Yeah, they build up to, like, now that Negan's the big bad, they build up to this big thing with Negan and his group, but then it, like, they build it up at the end of the first that season that you saw Negan, and then that whole next season they build it up again, and you're like, okay, so the next season's going to be about that. Oh no, next season started where it's toned down, and then they build it back up. Like, it took like 3 seasons to get to where we really wanted to be, and we never got there, because then they started doing the Whisper War and all that kind of stuff. So it was like they did some build-ups that was just not necessary.
I started watching it, to tell the absolute truth. I think some point during season 8, I think, no, season 9 maybe.
Yeah, me, I think
actually don't.
season 8 was the last season I saw an episode of. Maybe season 7. Maybe season 8.
I do remember the last episode I watched. Actually, I don't know where. I think it might be season 8. It could be season 9. I don't know. But when that specific episode happened, I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll catch up at some point.
Yeah. Zio to Hero,
'Cause
Jim said that he left after Herschel. They killed Herschel, which was the season 4, I think.
I loved Herschel.
Yeah.
It's really sad because, like I said, we're watching season 3 at the minute, and it's the episode where I think it's the episode where the baby's born. And Herschel starts walking again on the crutches and stuff, and like my stepmother and my mum are just like, "Oh, it's Herschel," and I'm like, "Wait, what? Herschel on the screen? What's happening?" I was like, "Oh, Herschel, that's really sad. Now I'm depressed because Herschel was such a good character."
Yeah, Zio says Carol is that was cool, and that he said a word I can't say because it's a cuss word, but that is all that was interesting is Carol, which they changed from the comics, because from what I heard in the comics, they killed her off in the comics. And she was like, because she started out being the scared, woman, and then she lost her daughter, and then she turned into like this, like, strong
Badass.
character. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, everything else just kind of, and then what's his face? Rick left the show, but you didn't know if he was going to come back because you never really saw him die because they, I don't know. He said the golden age was Breaking Bad. I still haven't seen Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones. I stopped watching Game of Thrones after the 3rd season. Walking Dead, all in one night, all at different times. Oh, they were all on the same night. That'd be nice. Three cool shows playing on the same night.
I haven't watched Breaking Bad, and when it comes to Game of Thrones, I think I got to like the end of season 2, and then I kind of gave up. I think.
Yeah, season 3 for me, like the Red Wedding was like I feared for my own life on that episode. Like that's how shocking that was. But then the 4th season started, and it was just like Star. You know how Star Trek we explained was, or I described it as just people standing around talking in a hallway. That's kind of like what Game of Thrones was. Season 4 was just a bunch of people like on a horse walking and talking, and that's about it. That's all it was.
That's fair.
Walking Dead comics and the show are like The Boys, where they divert way off.
Yep, yeah, they're completely different.
Which I like, because then you don't have to. There's no spoiler territory because they can kind of do what they want. But I think Walking Dead does follow the comic a little bit more than The Boys does.
There's certain pinpoints they follow. Yeah.
He said all 3 on Saturday night in 2011. But Breaking Bad and Walking Dead were on the same channel too. Game of Thrones was on HBO.
Well, with Walking Dead, there's like 3 TV shows now with Walking Dead. Then
there's
you've got
Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah. See, Fear the Walking Dead.
I still haven't seen any of those episodes.
The 1st season and the 2nd season was really good. I didn't mind it. It's not as it's not as survivally as the first few seasons of the original Walking Dead were, because obviously, like, they try their best to like be a community. They tried to like grow food and stuff. Not so much in the first few seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, but it kind of showed you how other people survived during it. And then they made a connection between the 2 shows. Like, they tried to like connect them, and that's when it got really why it didn't need to happen. Like, we all know they're in the same world. Like,
well, they did that, the connection with what's that guy's face?
Morgan,
yeah. But I don't. I always wanted to watch some of that. I always thought, like, because they didn't promote it like they did The Walking Dead.
Nah, yeah.
Like it almost seemed like whenever you saw promotions that it was like a short episodes, like they were like those quick, like webisodes or something, but it was an actual show. But they didn't promote it like they did Walking Dead.
But now there's a third one now, I think.
Is there?
Yeah, I think so.
The Boys is going to have a spinoff called Gen V. So it's going to be younger superheroes.
Oh.
So I think they're about to start shooting that. They started promoting it on the socials.
Younger generation of heroes in the really messed up world of The Boys. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. And I think they were planning on doing another spinoff of something. Because in The Boys, you have so many different teams. So I think they were going to do another different team. But there's going to be a Gen V. And then season 4 is going to come out next year. So.
Sound.
Zio said there's a whole cult of teen soups in the comics that is so messed up. And if that is so messed up, it's going to be messed up.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's The Boys, so it's going to be messed up. It's not, yeah. But, so we've already gone an hour now, so we might go ahead and close this episode for now. Thank you, everybody that's been watching. I think we had a good little turnout here. We always have Zio and Billy on, but other people we've gotten like Cosplay Dude and Rachel got a little more interaction. So awesome. Let people know Friday nights, it's not always on the same time. Today was late, mostly because I was late getting around to doing our episode. But Zio says, but what about your undying love for Zio to Hero? I have no idea what you're talking about. Undying love for Zio to Hero. But I guess if I'm gonna do something, so we'll close this with a promo for Zio to Hero. Actually, so I got one queued up right now, Zio. So before we close, Ty, just let everybody know where they can find you on the social media, what you're working with. And I do love you, Zio. It's not a shame. I do love you, Zio to Hero. It may not be Undying because I don't have Undying love for anybody. Like whenever I listen to what is that Backstreet Boys song? There's a Backstreet Boys song where they have a line where it's like, "Without you, I don't think I should live." Every time I sing it, I say, "Without you, I'm sure I can still live." So, I'm like, yeah, I've cried over enough girls to know that I don't need I can live on it. It is what it is. So, anywho. Okay, sorry, Ty. I didn't mean to cut you off right there, but Zio was wanted me to love. I do love
flames here as well.
Yeah. All right. So, where can we find you? What stuff are you working on? Oh, we talked about your Power Ranger stuff, but everything you're working
on. So people can find me on my YouTube channel called Ty Tiger, which is my gaming and reaction video channel. On TikTok, I'm just Ty Tiger with 2 7s. That's all my geeky, nerdy stuff. I just ramble on. If you enjoyed that, then yeah, that's a good TikTok for you. And as Ben and Rachel have mentioned, I've got a channel called Tiger Tales, which is my audiobook, where at the minute I've got a Power Ranger storyline fan fiction going on, and I'm gonna be putting it on Spotify at some point. But yeah, that seems to be building pretty fast.
Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty good so far. So yeah, so if you haven't already checked them out, I'm sure if we have more than just in the Zio to Hero network, I'm sure they all follow you. But if you're not, follow Zio to Hero. You should be following me because you want to be watching this if like you didn't know, unless you found me on YouTube randomly. But follow Ty too. And I will end this by saying, in the mortal words of Jim as Zordon, come at me, bro.
Sarge, we got the order, Sarge. Oh, well, all right. What are they, private? Ah, our list of orders. It looks like we gotta follow some new shows, like from the Zero to Hero network. Ah, like the main show, Zero to Hero with Billy and Jem, numbskulls. Stop. Ah, the Baker Rangers on YouTube and Facebook. Stop. Ah, Neon Lights on YouTube. Stop. Ah, the Red Corners Ranger from dang Brett. Stop. Ah, the Iron Avenger 52 on Instagram. Stop. Oh, and also Cosplay Dude 637 story time with me. Stop. I decide. Oh, not the private.